This is the story of a man who took his pain and turned it into power. A man who dared to dream big and chased those dreams relentlessly. This is the story of a superstar whose journey to the top was paved with struggles, sweat, and sheer determination. This is the story of Kapil Sharma. Our story begins in the bustling lanes of Amritsar, Punjab. Here, in a small house filled with laughter, lived a head constable in the Punjab police named Kapil Sharma and his wife, Yanak Rani. Their lives were simple, their joys were pure, and their love for each other was unwavering. They had 2 children, a daughter, Ronnie, and a son, Kapil. And it was this son who was destined to bring laughter to millions and touch hearts along the way. Life, however, had its own plans. When Kapil was just 10 years old, tragedy struck. His father Geetmal passed away, leaving behind a legacy of courage and a void that echoed through the little house on the corner. With his father's passing, the family was left drowning in debt and despair. The responsibility of the family now rested on Kapil's young shoulders. Though he was just a kid, he knew he had to be strong for his mother and sister. Now, you might wonder, what does the story of a man who brought laughter to millions have to do with debts and responsibilities? Well, everything. Because this is where our story takes a sharp turn and enters a realm where challenges and comedy collide. One evening, while sipping hot sweet lassi with his mother, young Kapil poured out his heart. "Ma hum log kaya karinj ab. We are just 2 people in this world who loved Papa, and now we are left alone," he said, his voice trembling with unshed tears. Yanak Rani looked at her son, his eyes mirroring the pain she felt. She knew her husband would want her to be strong, and so she wiped the tears from Kapil's eyes and said, "Beta tum hiaki mania apni abkeo, tum hiaki mania ki tumhara future bright rahega. I believe that one day you'll be successful." These words, spoken with such conviction, ignited a fire within Kapil. At that moment, he vowed to become successful. Main comedy Karunga or Login Ko Hasanga. Young Kapil declared to his mother, "I will do comedy and make people laugh." His mother smiled through her tears, not knowing that her son had just announced his destiny to the universe. As the years passed, Kapil's dream of becoming a comedian grew stronger. School days were tough. While other children flaunted the latest toys and gadgets, Kapil entertained his friends with funny voices and impersonations. His teachers, too, noticed his unique gift. Mrs. Kapoor, his 3rd grade teacher, recalled how he would turn even the most mundane tasks, like cleaning the blackboard, into a hilarious skit. Kapil was never short of ideas to make his classmates and teachers laugh. She reminisced. He was a natural comedian, and it was evident even back then. During school functions, Kapil would perform small skits that had everyone in splits. Once he organized a mimicry show where he impersonated popular Bollywood celebrities. The audience, including the principal, roared with laughter. However, dreams don't fill empty stomachs. After completing his 12th grade, Kapil needed to support his family, so he started working at a cloth mill near their house. But his passion for comedy never faded. He continued performing at school and college events, and his reputation as a comedian grew. When he was 21, he met a man who became his mentor, a person who saw Kapil's talent and encouraged him to pursue his dreams. With his mentor's support, Kapil ventured into the world of stand-up comedy, performing at small clubs and local events. He honed his skills, observing his audience and adapting his comedy to their tastes. It wasn't easy. There were nights when Kapil performed for hours without a single laugh, times when he questioned his chosen path. But his family's belief in him kept him going. His mother, despite facing her own struggles, would attend his shows, her face beaming with pride. "She never missed a chance to watch my performances," Kapil once shared, his voice filled with emotion. "Her presence gave me strength whenever I felt like giving up." For Kapil, comedy wasn't just a profession, it was a way of life. He immersed himself in it, studying the greats like the legendary comedian Rajendra Sharma, popularly known as Chatterjee, and learning from their style and delivery. He also drew inspiration from his own life experiences, using his struggles and observations to create humorous anecdotes that resonated with people. But Kapil knew that to succeed in the cutthroat world of entertainment, he needed to take a leap of faith. He had heard about a comedy reality show called the Great Indian Laughter Challenge. With a mix of excitement and trepidation, he decided to participate. In 2005, at the age of 24, Kapil boarded a train to Mumbai, the city of dreams. All he had was a few hundred rupees in his pocket, a bag full of dreams and a heart full of hope. As the train pulled out of the station, Kapil looked out of the window, his eyes fixed on the disappearing tracks. It was a journey that would change his life forever. When he reached Mumbai, he realized that he didn't know anyone in the industry. But undeterred, he started going to the show's audition venue, hoping to get a chance to perform. Days turned into weeks, and Kapil's money started to dwindle. He considered returning home, but then he thought, "This is my chance. I can't let it go." Finally, he got his break. He was given a chance to perform in front of the judges. Standing in the audition queue, Kapil felt a mix of emotions. Among hundreds of aspiring comedians, he knew he had to stand out. When his turn finally came, he stepped onto the stage and began his act. Within minutes, the judges were in tears, not of sorrow, but of uncontrollable laughter. "You have something special," judge Navgit Singh Sidhu told him. Don't let anyone dim your light. Kapil not only impressed the judges, but also the audience. He was selected for the show, and the rest, as they say, is history. Kapil didn't just participate in the show. He won it, taking home the trophy and prize money that would change his family's life forever. After winning the Laughter Challenge, Kapil's life changed drastically. Offers came pouring in. He performed at numerous shows, both in India and abroad, and his reputation as a comedian grew. However, he remained grounded, never forgetting his roots. Kapil's journey to superstardom wasn't accidental. It followed a clear pattern, a pattern that reveals the secret formula behind his phenomenal success. 1. Identify your unique gift. Kapil recognized his ability to make people laugh and honed that talent relentlessly. 2. Master your craft. He didn't just rely on his natural comedic timing. Kapil worked tirelessly to perfect his delivery and stage presence. 3. Serve others. Kapil's primary focus was always on entertaining his audience. He put their happiness above everything else. 4. Stay authentic. Kapil never lost his Punjabi charm and relatability. He remained true to himself throughout his rise to fame. 5. Adapt and evolve. He changed with times while keeping his core comedic style intact. 6. Build a team. Kapil surrounded himself with talented people like Sunil Grover, Oli Asgar, Simona Chakrabarti, and others who complemented his comedic genius. 7. Give back. Success made him more generous, not more selfish. Kapil used his platform to help others and make a positive impact. Following this formula helped Kapil Sharma create his own unique brand of comedy that resonated with millions. His popularity skyrocketed and he became a household name. A turning point in his career came when he hosted a show called Comedy Nights with Kapil Sharma. The show became a cultural phenomenon. Celebrities lined up to appear on his show. Audiences waited eagerly for each episode, and Kapil became a household name across India. There were rumors that Kapil charged a whopping 1 crore per episode. Can you imagine? That's $10 million, but Kapil's genius wasn't just in making people laugh. It was in making them feel at home. His characters, Guti, Palak Dodi, became part of Indian families' dinner table conversations. People from all walks of life could relate to his characters and situations. His success didn't come without its share of challenges, though. The pressure of weekly shows, creative differences with channels, and the constant scrutiny of media took its toll. There were times when Kapil faced severe depression and even contemplated quitting comedy. However, Kapil's indomitable spirit wouldn't allow him to stay down for long. He took a break, traveled, spent time with family, and returned with renewed vigor. Success is not just about reaching the top. Kapil reflected during one of his difficult phases. It's about staying true to yourself even when the whole world is watching. In 2015, when Comedy Nights with Kapil ended, many thought it was the end of an era. But Kapil proved that real talent always finds a way back. In 2013, he made a triumphant return with the Kapil Sharma Show on Sony TV, breaking all viewership records. Once again, he had the audience in stitches with his impeccable comic timing and witty rep. Kapil's journey from a struggling comedian to a superstar is truly inspiring. So here's the secret formula for success. 1. Passion and dedication. Kapil's passion for comedy and dedication to his craft were evident from the start. 2. Hard work and perseverance. Kapil didn't wait for luck to shine on him. He worked tirelessly to make his dreams come true. 3. Unique style. Kapil developed a unique style of comedy that set him apart from the crowd. 4. Connecting with the audience. Kapil understood his audience and made them feel like part of his family. 5. Adaptability. Kapil adapted to changes in the industry and evolved with the times. 6. Positive attitude. Kapil's positive attitude and sense of humor helped him overcome challenges. These factors combined to create the perfect recipe for success. If you've made it this far, I know you love stories like these. Stay tuned for more.